अष्टविंशतिकलियुगस्य प्रथमसन्ध्यायां ब्रह्मविंशतो वर्तमानायाम् उत्तरायणे वसन्तऋतौ माघमासी कृष्णपक्षे त्रयोदशी तिथौ गुरुवारान्वितायां धनिष्ठा नक्षत्रे भूमण्डले जम्बूद्वीपे भारतवर्षे भारतखण्डे मेघीभूतस्य सुमेरोध दक्षिणे लवणानवस्योत्तरे कोणे गङ्गायाः पश्चिमे भागे श्रीखाने ग्रामे श्रीविग्रह ब्राह्मण सन्निधौ मणिसन्निधौ एवं कुलविशेषण विशिष्टायास्य शुभतिथौ श्री श्रीराधा गोविन्द प्रीत्यर्थं श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन प्रीत्यर्थं श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह प्रीत्यर्थं नित्यहोमं वयं करिष्यामः। दक्षिणाग्नि ओम क्रव्यागमग्निं ब्रह्मणोमि दूरं यमराज्यं गच्छतु विप्रवाह purification. Now Vaishnavagni has to be installed. Om Vaishnavanamagni iha gacchagni tvam Vaishnavanamasi Shri Vishnu Teja evayam. Om Vaishnavanamagni. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. सर्वशास्त्रादिपीयूष सर्ववेदैकसत्फला सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाढ्य सर्वलोकैकदृक्पदा स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः सर्वभागतप्राण श्रीमद्भागवत कलिध्वान्तोदिरादित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तित स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः परमानंद पाटनाय प्रेमवक्षक्षराय ते सर्वंगा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोस्तुते स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः मदेकबन्धो मत्सङ्गिं मद्गुरो मद्महात्मा मन्निष्ठारक मद्भाग्य मदानन्द नमोस्तुते स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः असाधु साधु भक्ताय तमेमि चोचतारक चित्मां प्रेम्णा रुच्यन्ते मुस्कुरः स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः अहमेवासमेवाग्रे नान्यद्यत् असत्परम् पश्चात् अहं यत् एतच्छायो अवशिष्येत सोऽस्म्यहं स्वाहा इदं विष्णुवेदं नमः कृतर्दं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यादात्मनो मायामिता भासो यथा मतः तमः स्वाहा इदं विष्णुवेदं नमः यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चाश्वशेषु न प्रविष्टानि अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न तेष्वहं स्वाहा इदं विष्णुवेदं नमः एतावदेव जिज्ञासं तज्जिज्ञास्यात् सनात्मनः अन्वयव्यतिरेकाभ्यां यस्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा स्वाहा इदं विष्णुवेदं नमः ततो वयं मत्प्रमुखाय तर्थे बभूविमात्मन् करवाम किं ते त्वं स्वचक्षुपरिदेहि शक्त्या देव क्रियाते यदनुग्रहाणां स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः third chapter, third canto, ninth chapter, first verse onwards, is Brahma's prayers. Brahmovacha gyatosi medya suchirananudeham न ज्ञायते भगवतो गतिरिति अवज्ञम् नान्यत्वदस्ति भगवन्नपि तन्न शुद्धम् माया गुणव्यतिकराद्य गुरुर्विभासि स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः रूपं यदेतत् अवबोधरसोदये शश्वन्निवृत्ततमसः सदनुग्रहाय आदौ गृहीतम् अवतारशतैकबीजम् यन्नाभिपद्मभवनात् अहम् आविलासं स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः नातः परं परमयत् भवतः स्वरूपम् आनन्दमात्रम् अविकल्पमविद्धवर्चः पश्यामि विश्वसृजमेकमविश्वमात्मन् भूतेन्द्रियात्मकपदस्थ उपाश्रितोऽस्मि स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः तद्वा इदं भुवनमङ्गलमङ्गलाय ध्याने स्मृणो दर्शितं त उपासकानां तस्मै नमो भगवते अनुविधेम तुभ्यं यो नागतो नरक भाग्ये असत्प्रसङ्गः स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः ये तु तदीय चरणाम्बुजङ्कष कोशगन्धं जिघ्रन्ति कर्णविवरैः श्रुतिवातगीतम् भक्त्या गृहीत चरणापरया सतेषां न पैशिनाथ हृदयाम्बुरुहा स्वपुंसां स्वाहा इदं विष्णुवे नमः तावद्भयं द्रविणदेहसुहं निमित्तं शोकस्पृहा परिभवो मृगश्च लोभः तावन्ममेति असत् अवग्रह आदिमालम् यावन्न तेन गृहम् अभयं प्रवृता लोका स्वाहा इदं विष्णुवे नमः दैवेन चेत् तद्धियो भवता प्रसङ्गात् सर्वाशुभोपशमनात् विमुखे त्रियात्रिये कुर्वन्ति कामसुखलेशलवाय दीनां लोभाभिभूतमनसो कुशलानि शाश्वत स्वाहा इदं विष्णवे नमः ॐ पूर्णं होमं यशसे विष्णवे जुहोमि यस्मै विष्णवे जुहोते सवरं मरणे ददाति विष्णो वरं वृणे यशसभामि लोको स्वाहा ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णकेशाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरविषे नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय समस्तत्वं शेषशैलशिखामणे ओमज्ञानिना मया दोषा न शेषा विहितान्धरे समस्तत्वं शेषशैलशिखामणे भार्गव नरसिंहा 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 Yoga Narasimha, Yoga Narasimha, Yoga Narasimha, Yoga Narasimha, Yoga Narasimha, समुद्रं गच्छ. Paying obeisances to Bhudevi, expressing the gratitude of the Devata. Om Tvam Shitalo Bhava. Om Tvam Shitalo Bhava. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we'll have discussion on the 16th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam and also 17th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, how Parikshit Maharaj identifies the influence of Kali in his kingdom. Right. Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namastutya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Vadunathangitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostate Taptakanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. So we are in the 16th chapter of first canto Srimad Bhagavatam. So we saw in the previous chapters that how Krishna settled Yudhishthira Maharaj and all the Pandavas and then came back to Dwarka. Now what happens in Hastinapur? Maharaj Parikshit, who was saved by Krishna himself in the womb, now he has taken the position of a king because he has now grown up, he is now king, and he began to rule the world as a great devotee of the Lord. Devotees are always instructed by sages. They are known as twice born Brahmins. So in this way, the first verse begins, Suta vacha tata parikshit vija pariya shikshaya mahim mahabhagavataha yashadma yathahi sutyam abhijata govitaha samavishan vipra mahadgunastatha. So he ruled the world according to the instructions of the sages. That is how the Kshatriyas should rule the kingdom. Kshatriyas should be guided by the Brahmanas. He ruled by those great qualities, and also the Kshatriyas should have wonderful qualities. Then only they are known as Kshatriya. Kshatriya. And all these qualities are there in him because he is a great devotee. That is a qualification of a devotee. The real qualification is to become a devotee of the God, and gradually all the good qualities worthy of possessions develop. Yasyaste bhaktir bhagavati kinchana sarvair gunestatra samasite sura. Sarvair gunestatra samasite sura. Whatever wonderful qualities the Nitya Suris have, those qualities can automatically come to a person if he is taking up devotional service very sincerely. So Maharaj Parikshit was therefore a devotee of the first order, and he used to consult great sages and learned Brahmanas, and they used to advise him by the Shastras. That is why the Brahmanas, their work is to read the Shastras and teach the Shastras to the Kshatriyas so that they can execute the state administration.
King Parishit married the daughter of King Uttara and begot 4 sons, headed by Maharaj Janamejaya. Then Parikshit Maharaj, he selected Krupacharya for guidance as his spiritual master. And he had performed 3 Ashwamedha Yajna on the banks of Ganga. And it is said when he performed 3 Ashwamedha Yajna on the banks of Ganga, demigods used to come and personally take the oblations. When we offer Ahuti, at the time demigods also come. Now this is any of Krishna. But whenever any sacrifices are done, that is done for the pleasure of the demigods. But the demigods, they take the oblations and give it to Krishna. It's actually for Yajna Purusha only. Every Yajna is actually for the Yajna Purusha. The demigods also come. So the common man could see the demigods. That was the power of the Yajna which Parikshit Maharaj did. Now it so happened, Maharaj Parikshit was on his way to conquer the world. So Ashwamedha Yajna was done and he wanted to conquer the world. So he was on his way. At that time he saw a master of Kali Yuga who was lower than a Shudra, disguised as a king and hurting the legs of a cow and a bull. So the king thought, let me give him enough punishment. So then Shaunakadi Rishi, they are asking, why did Maharaj Parikshit simply punish him? Since he was the lowest of the Shudras, having dressed as a king and having struck a cow on the leg. So Shaunakadi Rishi, they were surprised that Maharaj Parikshit should actually have killed him because he's a culprit. He was beating the cow and the bull. So he should have killed him. But instead of killing him, he just gave some punishment. So we want to know all those incidents, if they are related to the topic of Lord Krishna. Shaunakadi Rishi, they are only interested in hearing the topics which are related to Krishna. So they are saying, if this incident is related to Krishna, then tell us this about this incident. That when Maharaj Parikshit saw a Shudra dressed like a king and beating the cow and the bull, then why is it that Maharaj Parikshit did not kill that king, that Shudra king? He should have killed them. Instead, what he did, he just gave some punishment. So we want to know, but we want to know if this topic is related to Krishna. So in the 6th verse, it is said, Athavasya Padambuja Makaranda Sadam Kim Anyer Asad Alapai Ayusha Yat Asad Vayaha. So the devotees, they are always interested in licking the honey available at the lotus feet of Krishna. Makaranda Liham Sadam. So they are interested in licking the Makaranda. Makaranda means the honey from such a lotus flower. Makaranda. So they are always interested in licking the honey. They are not interested in any mundane topics. What is the use of topics which simply waste one's valuable life? So the devotee's qualification is they're always eager to hear Krishna Katha. Then, O Sutta Goswami, there are those amongst men who desire freedom from death and get eternal life. They escape the slaughtering process by calling the controller of death Yamaraj. So in this way it is said, nobody likes death. And he does not know how to get rid of death. The surest remedy for avoiding death is to accustom oneself to hearing the nectarian pastime of Krishna. So as long as Yamaraj, who causes everyone's death, is present here, no one shall meet with them. But the great sages have invited the controller of death, Yamaraj, who is a representative of the Lord. Living beings who are under his grip should take advantage by hearing the deathless nectar in the form of this narration of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. So Yamaraj is also one of the Mahajanas. So if a person is calling Yamaraj, then he should be eager to hear Krishna Katha. Generally, people are very afraid of Yamaraj. But Yamaraj is a Mahabhagavata. So if a person is inclined to hear about Krishna Katha, then his life is fruitful. Or he is just under the grip of death. So it is said a person who is very lazy, his intelligence is contaminated, then he is not having that interest to hear about Krishna. Now, Sutta Goswami says, Maharaj Parikshit was residing in the capital of Kuru because they had this doubt. Why Maharaj Parikshit spared that person who was killing a cow and was actually beating a cow and a bull? So Sutta Goswami is now answering. It says Maharaj Parikshit was staying in the capital of Kuru Empire. And the symptoms of Kali started. And he was not very much happy. But he was waiting for a chance to fight. That is why now he saw that this person who is a master of the Kali is beating the cow and the Brahmin and the bull. Immediately took up his bows and arrows and prepared himself for military activities. He sat on a chariot by black horses, drawn by the black horses. His flag was marked with the sign of a lion. And in this way, he left the capital to conquer in all directions. Now, Maharaj Parikshit, he traveled to many parts of the world. Badrashvaha, Ketumalaha, Bharataha, Northern Kuru, Kimpurushaha, different places. Now, he was continuously, but wherever he visited, he made it a point to hear continuously about Lord. But wherever he went, he was hearing the glories of his great forefathers also, who were devotees of Lord. And also the glories of Krishna. And also he heard about himself, that how he was protected by Lord from the powerful heat of Ashwatthama. The weapon Ashwatthama, Brahmastra, he had said. So when he had thrown Brahmastra towards Uttara, Lord protected Parikshit Maharaj. So wherever he went, people used to glorify the great lineage, his uncles, in this way, his grandfathers, everybody were glorified. So now here, people also mention the great affection between the Vrishni Parivar and Pratha, due to the latter's being the greatest devotee of Keshav. The king, being very pleased with the singers of such glories, opened his eyes in great satisfaction. Out of magnanimity, he was pleased to award them very valuable necklaces and clothing. So when he was hearing the glories of his grandfathers and also his forefathers and also about Krishna and also how Krishna protected him, so people used to sing these glories. He was so pleased. He used to award them with various necklaces and clothing. Now Parikshit Maharaj heard that out of costless mercy, Lord Krishna, he rendered all the services to the sons of Pandu. He became charioteer. He became a night watchman also. He became a messenger. He became a friend. So he was obeying them like a servant and offering obeisances like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaj Parikshit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of Lord. So his love for Lord increased. It is not that just he heard that Lord acted like a servant, his respect for Lord reduced. No. In fact, his love for Lord increased more and more. So now, Sutta Goswami says, Tasyevam Vartamanasya Purvesham Vrittimanvaham Nati Dure Kilascharyam Yad Asit Tan Nibodame. So now you may hear from me what happened when Maharaj Parikshit was passing his days hearing of the good occupations of his forefathers and being absorbed in front of them. So let us hear what happened after that. In this way, Maharaj Parikshit was absorbed in hearing about Lord, in hearing the glories of how Krishna protected his family, himself. So this all was happening, but what happened in his kingdom was he had gone to other kingdoms to conquer. The personality of religious principle, dharma padaikena charan, pichayam upalabhyagam, prachati smasru vadanam, vivatsam iva mataram. So dharma padaikena charan. The dharma was just walking on one leg. Dharma was wandering about in the form of a bull, and he met the personality of earth and cow. Now the personality of earth came in the form of a cow who appeared like a mother who had lost her child. As if the mother is crying in this way, the cow also is crying. Now this cow is none other than Bhumata, that is Bhuma Devi. She had tears in her eyes and the beauty of her body was lost. Thus Dharma questioned the earth as follows. But Dharma now is represented by a bull. When the bull sees the cow, who is Mother Earth, he was shocked to see that Mother Earth is continuously crying. At that time, Dharma is asking, Kachit Bhadre Anamayam Atmanaste Vichayasi Rayati Shamkhena Alakshaye Bhavati Madradhi Dure Bandhum Shoshasi Kanchanamba. So Dharma says, what happened? Why are you not healthy? Why are you not happy? What happened to this? Why you are so much in grief? And it appears your face has become so black. Are you suffering from some disease? Or are you thinking of some relative who is staying in a far distance? And he says, see, I have lost my 3 legs and I am only standing in one. Are you lamenting for my state of affairs? So, oh mother cow, are you seeing my state and then crying? Because I'm just standing on one leg. Dharma is based on 4 principles. 4 legs, 4 principles. Purity, austerity, truthfulness, and compassion. But I'm just standing on 3 legs. So are you in anxiety? Or are you in fear that some meat eaters will exploit you? Or are you in a plight because the demigods are now bereft of the share of sacrificial offerings? There is no sacrifices performed. Are you crying for the living beings, seeing their sufferings due to famine and drought? So in various ways, he's asking the question, what is the cause of your grief? Why are you crying? And then, are you feeling compassion for the unhappy women and children? Are you unhappy because the goddess of learning is being handled by Brahmanas addicted to acts against the principles of religion? Now Kali Yuga has entered. It has started. That is why these things are spoken. Oh Mother Earth, are you unhappy seeing that now the Brahmanas, they are addicted to the acts of principles of religion, against the principles of religion? So are you crying because the goddess of learning is handled by such unscrupulous Brahmanas? Are you sorry to see that the Brahmanas have taken shelter of administrative families that do not respect Brahminical culture? Now see, all these doshas of Kali Yuga has been mentioned 5,000 years before. And we are seeing that in the present condition also, it happened. The Brahmanas have taken the shelter of administrative class, they who do not respect Brahminical culture. Brahmanas have given up their position, their studies, their sadhana, their austerity. They have just taken the shelter of unscrupulous people who don't have faith in the Brahminical culture. The Brahmana, the present education also is making a Brahmana work like a Shudra. So are you crying for all these things? The so-called administrators, they are influenced by the age of Kali. So are you crying for that? Because administrators, that means the Kshatriyas, they are supposed to protect the people. So there is a disorder. The present Kshatriyas, they are not interested in protecting the Brahmanas. Now the great populace does not follow the rules and regulations for eating, sleeping, drinking, and mating, etc. And they are inclined to perform such anywhere and everywhere. Are you unhappy because of this? So all these are the Kali Yuga doshas. People are not interested to follow the rules and regulations, which actually govern eating, mating, sleeping, defending also. But are you unhappy to see that they are not following? And then, oh Mother Earth, Hari has incarnated as Krishna just to unload your heavy burden. I've heard from my forefathers that Lord Hari personally came to unload your heavy burden. So all these activities are so transcendental. They can give immediate liberation. Now, are you crying because he is not present now? Because Lord Hari has left for his abode. Krishna has unmanifested his pastimes. So there was manifested pastime, now there is unmanifested pastime. Krishna has left for his abode. So are you crying, thinking of his activities and feeling sorry in his absence? Say, oh Mother, you are the reservoir of all riches. Idam mama chakshva tavadi moolam vasundhareyena vikarshitasi kalena vate balinam baliyasa surarchitam kim hritam ambasau. So are you crying because of all these tribulations? Oh Mother, you are full of riches. Please inform what is the root cause of your suffering. How we can reduce your sufferings. I think that the powerful influence of time which conquers the most powerful might have forcibly taken away all your fortune, which was adored even by the demigods. So the influence of time, because of the time, maybe all your riches are removed. So are you crying for that? Then the earthly deity in the form of cow started replying. She says, what is the cause of my agony or my grief? Dharani uvacha bhavan hiveda tat sarvam yanmam dharman pruchasi chaturbhir vartase yena pade loka sukha. O Dharma, whatever you have inquired from me shall be known to you. I shall try to reply all those questions. Once you two were maintained by 4 legs, you had 4 legs, now only 1 leg is there. That means the 3 legs have been destroyed out of purity, austerity, truthfulness, and compassion. And you have increased the happiness all over the universe by the mercy of God. So the happiness in this world is dependent on you, is dependent on the religious principles which is established by you. But now only 3 legs are, just 1 leg is there, 3 legs are gone. So people have forgotten that the happiness in this world is only because of your mercy, which you attained from Krishna. Now in Lord, all the wonderful qualities are there. 40 qualities have been mentioned. Beginning with truthfulness, cleanliness, intolerance of another's happiness, the power to control anger, satisfaction, straightforwardness, then steadiness of mind, control of sense organs, responsibility, equality, tolerance. In this way, there are 40 qualities in Krishna. And Krishna is the reservoir of goodness and beauty. So here Mother Earth says, now Krishna has closed his transcendental pastimes. And in his absence, this age of Kali is spreading the influence everywhere. So I'm sorry to see the condition of existence. As long as Lord is there, as long as the worship of Lord is there, dharma is established. The moment the Lord is removed, adharma will become prevalent. So here she says that Lord has unmanifested himself. Lord has closed his pastimes. That is why we can see the influence of Kali everywhere. I am thinking about myself and also best amongst the demigods, about you, as well as about all the demigods, sages, denizens of Pitruloka, devotees of the Lord, and all men obedient to the system of Varna and Ashrama in human society. So I'm just not thinking about myself. I'm also thinking about you, about the demigods, about everything. So Varnashrama has to be established because these men are obedient to the Varnashrama. And if this influence of Kali kills all the pious people, then what will happen to this society? And she says, Lakshmi, she resides in the chest of Krishna. She has given up her abode also. And she's engaging in the service of the Lord. I was endowed with specific powers to supersede the fortune of all the three planetary systems by being decorated upon the impressions of flag, thunderbolt, elephant driving rod, and lotus. Krishna was walking on me. So I was more fortunate than even Lakshmi, because Lord has placed his foot on me. When he places the foot on Lord, naturally all the symbols which are there in the foot of Lord comes on his chest. So Lord has placed his feet, and which are the signs of auspiciousness. But now Lord has left. So I feel that I was so fortunate. Why is it that Lord left me and went? Then, when Lord left me and went, what happened? Yo vai mamati bharam asura vamsharajam akshauhini shatam apanunad atmatantraha tvam dushtam una padam atmani paurushena sampadayan yadusuramyam abibrad angam. So, O Dharma, I was overburdened by these atheistic kings. Only when I was relieved, when Lord glanced at me. Similarly, you are also in a very distressful condition. Your 3 legs are broken and your strength is completely weakened. Thus, he also incarnated by his internal energy in the family of Yadus to relieve you. He has appeared to set up dharma. Vidayadai dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata pitnalam dharmasya tadatmanam sujamyam. To bring you back, to bring your strength back, he has especially appeared. And he has appeared to vanquish all the unwanted asuras and re-establish the principles of religion. This was the mission of Krishna. So I'm just saying how Krishna is so wonderful, so merciful, that even though your 3 legs are broken, but Krishna will help to restore them back. That is why he has appeared. Then further, who therefore can tolerate the pangs of separation from that Supreme Lord? Lord is so wonderful. Lord can pacify Satyabhama. She gets angry very fast. But he can pacify Satyabhama by sweet smile. And in this way, when he traveled my surface, I would be immersed in the dust of his lotus feet, and thus would be sumptuously covered with grass, which appeared like hairs standing on me out of pleasure. So those were my very wonderful days where Krishna used to walk on my surface. And these grasses were appearing like the hairs standing on me out of pleasure. So in this way, when the earth, who came in the form of a cow, and the personality of religion, that is Dharma, appeared, at that time, this conversation were going on between them. Sage Parikshit reached the shore of Saraswati river, which flowed towards the east. So thus ends this chapter, that is 16th chapter of the first canto. So what happens? When Parikshit Maharaj comes, 17th chapter will do, he observes that Shudra, like a king, he was a Shudra, low caste Shudra. He was beating a cow and a bull. And this bull was so white, white as a lotus flower. And he was terrified seeing the Shudra beating. Now, cow is so beneficial because one can draw the religious principles from her. And there was tears in her eyes whenever the cows are crying. Understand, that brings misfortune to the person who is owning the cow. Because the cow cries when she's hungry. If somebody has not fed the cows properly, then she's hungry. She was hankering for some grass in the field. Maharaj Parikshit, when he saw this person, a Shudra person, beating the cow and the bull, immediately he got down and he spoke to Shudra with a deep voice, which was sounding like a thunder. He said, "Who are you? You appear to be so strong, and you are daring to kill that to those who are within my protection and those who are helpless." It is said in the Shastras, those who are helpless, those who are unarmed, one should not attack them. Now, cow is such a helpless person, and you are trying to attack cow and the bull, and you have dressed like a very pious king, but your deeds are exactly opposite to the principles of twice born Kshatriyas. As much as there are twice born Brahmanas, there are twice born Kshatriyas. That means even Kshatriyas have to undergo the Upanayanam Sanskar. They are also given Gayatri. And that is how twice born. Now, first birth is from the womb of mother. And after that, the next birth is from the sound vibration given by the spiritual master. It is spiritual master who gives the second birth. So Parikshit Maharaj says, "You rogue, do you dare beat an innocent cow?" Because Krishna and Arjuna are out of sight. Just because Krishna is unmanifested, you have appeared just to kill these cows, innocent cows. You are beating the innocent in a secluded place, that too. You are a culprit and you deserve to be killed. Then Maharaj Parikshit asked the bull, "Who are you? Are you a bull as white as a white lotus? Or are you a demigod? So this color what you have, is it this original color of yours, or are you a demigod who have appeared like a bull? You have lost 3 legs and still you are moving on 1 leg. Are you some demigod causing us grief in the form of a bull?" In this way, Maharaj Parikshit says that first time in my kingdom, somebody is crying like this. Up till now, nobody on this earthly planet have shed tears. Najatu Kauravendrana Doranda Parirambita Bhutale Anupatanti Asmin Vinate Praninam Shuchah. Till now, nobody cried in this earthly planet, and you are causing so much of grief to them. O son of Surbi, do not lament. There is no need to fear this Shudra. O mother cow, as long as I am living, Parikshit Maharaj says, as long as I am living, you should not cry. There should not be any cause for you to cry. Everything will good happen to you. Then, oh mother, you are such a chaste person. The king's good name, duration of life, good rebirth, vanish when all kings, when all kinds of living entities are terrified by miscreants in his kingdom. So if in his kingdom everybody is in fear and are crying, then what happens? All the good fame, fortune, everything will vanish. That is why the prime duty of a king is to subdue all the people who are suffering. I must kill this most wretched man because he is violent against other kings, living beings. And in this way, he repeatedly addressed the bull. He said, "Oh, son of Surbi, who has cut your 3 legs? Or who are in the state of kings who are obedient to the laws of Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no one as unhappy as you. I am ruling this kingdom according to the laws which has been set, but still I am seeing that there is a person who is unhappy like you. So, oh bull, you are offenseless. You are so honest. I wish all good to you. Please tell me who has done this. Whoever causes offenseless living beings to suffer must fear me anywhere and everywhere in the world. So here Parikshit Maharaj says, whoever is causing the devotees to suffer, offenseless living beings to suffer. Here offenseless living beings implies the pure devotees. Whoever is troubling a pure devotee will surely suffer, Parikshit Maharaj says. And in this way, by curbing dishonest miscreants, one automatically benefits the offenseless. So remaining verses we'll do on Sunday. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Any questions? Oh, yeah.